Hello everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. On this True Crime Tuesday, we are going to focus on the case behind the Netflix documentary, Evil Genius, which I highly recommend you check out. To me, this case is so bizarre just because of everything that unfolded. Basically, this case is about how an average, everyday guy went from delivering a pizza to robbing a bank with a bomb attached to his neck. Now, before we get into the case, I would like to thank the sponsor of this podcast, CBS All Access. You can watch CBS shows on demand anytime, anywhere, with live TV and next day new episodes. Start your free trial now by clicking the link in the description. And now back to the Evil Genius case. So, many of you are probably thinking, Robert, this seems like a pretty self-explanatory case of a guy who was desperate for money and put a fake bomb around his neck to try to rob a bank. And to that I say, I really wish it was that simple. But I'm afraid not, folks, so get ready for this roller coaster and fasten your seatbelts because this is going to be a bumpy ride filled with twists and turns. So, to start this off, I obviously need to talk about the pizza delivery man. His name is Brian Wells. Brian was a pizza delivery driver for the Mamma Mia Pizzeria in Erie, Pennsylvania for 10 years. He was known to be somewhat of a quiet guy who really enjoyed scavenger hunts. Brian died on August 28, 2003 at 3:18 p.m. when a collar bomb that he was wearing detonated while waiting for the bomb squad after robbing the PNC Bank in Erie, Pennsylvania. The incident was shown on live television. At this point, you're probably confused about how this all happened, and for that we need to travel back to 1:30 p.m. that day. It was around this time that the pizzeria received a call to have 2 pizzas be delivered to 8631 Peach Street, which was the location of the transmitting tower for WSEE-TV. Upon arriving at the location, Brian was approached at gunpoint by 3 strangers, where they attached the bomb to his neck and gave him a handmade shotgun in the shape of a cane, and forced him to participate in a scavenger hunt, which was a 9-page set of instructions. The scavenger hunt consisted of strictly timed tasks that would delay the detonation, and at the end, the bomb would be defused. The instructions warned him that any attempt to call the authorities would result in the bomb's detonation. Brian quietly entered the PNC Bank around 2:30 p.m. Upon entering, he gave the teller a note which demanded $250,000 and stated that the bomb would explode in 15 minutes and that the money must be handed over within that time. The teller was not able to access the vault that quickly and handed Brian a bag with $8,702 in it. At 2:38, a witness called 911 from the bank and reported a man leaving with a bomb around his neck. 15 minutes after Brian left the bank, he had completed his first task in the scavenger hunt and was getting ready to head to the next location. At this time, police saw him standing outside of his car and promptly arrested him and left him sitting on the ground in the parking lot. He told police that 3 black men had placed the bomb around his neck and said they would kill him if he didn't complete the robbery and the tasks. The police did not attempt to disarm the bomb, but instead cleared the immediate area, ensuring pedestrians that Brian was not able to detonate the device. At 3:15, 3 minutes before the bomb squad arrived, the bomb went off, blasting a hole in Brian's chest, killing him in minutes. Immediately after his death, his house was searched and they found a list of people Brian knew, including 2 prostitutes unknown to the members of his family. One of the more frequent prostitutes' name was Jessica Hoopsick. On August 31st, Brian's co-worker, Robert Panetti, was found dead in his home after suffering a drug overdose. This may seem like an irrelevant detail, but everything is about to fall into place. For the most part, this case remained a mystery until September 30th, when a man named Bill Rothstein called the police and informed them that the body of a man was hidden in a freezer in his garage. The body belonged to James Roden. Now, James had been living with a woman named Marjorie Armstrong for 10 years. Bill was a longtime friend and neighbor of Marjorie. When Bill was in custody, he confessed that Marjorie had killed James with its 12-gauge shotgun during a dispute over money, and that she paid him $2,000 to help hide the body and clean the crime scene. In January 2005, Marjorie pled guilty but mentally ill to the murder of James Roden. Later that year in April, Marjorie told a state trooper that she had information about the Wells case and would tell them everything if she was transferred to a minimum security prison in Cambridge Springs. During her interviews, Marjorie admitted to providing the kitchen timers used for the bomb, but that Bill was the mastermind behind the plot. She also stated that Brian Wells was directly involved with the plot to rob the bank. Now, remember how I was talking about Jessica Hoopsick and Robert Panetti? Well, they both happened to be connected to a man named Kenneth Barnes. Kenneth was a crack dealer and Marjorie's fishing buddy. He was Robert's drug dealer and his house was used by prostitutes, which is how Jessica knew him. According to Jessica, Kenneth approached her to find a gopher that they could scare into robbing a bank. She set up Brian in exchange for money and drugs. Once Brian had been convinced to be part of this plot, he went to Kenneth's house where he, Marjorie, and Bill discussed ways they could make money. Marjorie suggested that Kenneth kill her father so that she could receive an inheritance, claiming that her father was wasting the money anyway. Kenneth told her that he would be willing to do it for $200,000. This is when they planned the bank robbery. According to law enforcement, Brian had participated in the planning of the bank robbery and was aware of the complex plot, but had no idea that the bomb was going to be real. He thought that the bomb was fake and going to serve as an alibi if he got caught. According to the FBI, 2 witnesses claim that Bill was talking about the robbery about a month before it happened. Brian was seen leaving Bill's house the day before, which investigators believed to be a rehearsal for the events. It is believed that Marjorie killed James Roden to prevent him from informing the police about the bank robbery plot. Friends and family of Brian Wells dispute that he had no involvement in the plot, but was held at gunpoint and forced to wear the bomb. In my own personal opinion, I think that Brian knew about the robbery, since there is evidence of him knowing and being a conspirator. However, I do not believe that he knew the bomb was real until he went to the pizza delivery which is when I believe he tried to back out once he realized that the bomb was real, since there were signs of struggle at the TV tower location. Now, obviously I didn't go into every single little detail about this case, because if I did, this episode would probably be about 3 hours long. But I did want to give key details and information about this case for you to be able to form your own opinion about what happened. If you do want to know more about the case, again, I highly recommend the Netflix documentary about it. Now, I want to take this time at the end of the episode to apologize for the late upload. There is a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I'm working on, which one thing I'm excited about is turning this into a video podcast. That way, when I upload to my YouTube channel, it's not just going to be like my logo the entire time. There's going to be like a visual element. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you tomorrow for Casual Friday.